I'll take it back once we get closer to the end here so that you don't run into that guy.
118. Number 2 Bravo Whiskey, contact tower 118.41, number 1.
72 Bravo Whiskey, we'll go.
And number 9 November Sierra.
Really hard to see.
118.41, number 1.
Oh yeah.
Over tower.
Might have to bring a phone book next time you fly. Okay, we're coming up on taxiway hotel. I'm going to go ahead and take the controls. You can put your feet back on the ground. He's not going to let us on the runway until that guy turns off. As you see, still rolling out there.
Cessna 172 Bravo Whiskey, runway 35, left at hotel, cleared for takeoff, fly runway heading.
Clear for takeoff, 35 left at hotel, fly runway heading 172 Bravo Whiskey.
Cessna
once again lined up, throttle come up.
Midfield right down, runway 35 right, cleared to land.
Alright, looking for traffic, 35 right, clear to land, 681.
Engine instruments all look good. Watching my airspeed increase here. And when it gets to that R, that means rotate.
Cessna 79 Romeo, remember my frequency for now.
And we are airborne.
Cessna 2 Bravo Whiskey, proceed on course.
On course, 172 Bravo Whiskey. All right, we're coming to the right. Going to get pointed towards Livingston. I'll go ahead and take the controls now. So I have the aircraft, and you can relax for a little bit. Go ahead and take your hands off. Wipe the sweat off.
Yeah.
Way to go, Pinky.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and make my turn to the right because we're entering a downwind. We are flying downwind from our landing runway. I'm going to make a radio call. Livingston traffic, Cessna 172 Bravo Whiskey is entering left downwind at this time for runway 30, touch and go, Livingston. Alright, so now I have opposite direction of the way I'm going to land. I'm going to start slowing down the plane. And we can get down to a speed where we can extend our flaps. We're about to make our turn to the left to be perpendicular to the runway. Livingston traffic, Cessna 172 Bravo Whiskey is left base, runway 30, touch and go, Livingston. Okay, and we are perpendicular to where we're landing. Our runway's over there. Livingston traffic, Cessna 172 Bravo Whiskey is left base, turning final, runway 30, touch and go, Livingston. Sometimes the winds are a little funny as they go around the trees, kind of like a rock in a stream. It makes those little eddy currents. That's what we're feeling here. I get a little more of that as we come over this tree line. I bring the throttle all the way back and start leveling off here, ringing up the nose to flare, flare, get off the speed, and to float. There we go. Flaps are coming up. My throttle's going to come up. And we are flying again. I'm going to throttle back a little bit because I'm going to level off just a little bit lower than we were on the way out here because we're going to go up the lake and we're going to look for some pelicans out here. The big white pelicans. They come here for the winter. You see, basically just fly us out over the bridge. You see the bridge? So you can... You're flying again. Yeah, I think those are the pelicans.
Oh, wow.
Cool. You haven't taken any pictures.
I don't know. Whenever I'm like at concerts or places, I only really take pictures if I feel like I'm gonna forget it. But I don't think I'll forget this.
I'm descending us down to about 1,000 feet just so we have a little bit better view. You can see that Buc-ee sign way out there. All right, there we are at about 1,000. You can read the side of the building too. You can see that it says Madisonville on the side. I'm going to rock the wings back and forth, so when you feel it's tilting, that's on purpose. That's me. We're just giving them a wave. All the people that are stopping to get some beaver nuggets. I'm going to climb just a little bit, and we're going to head towards the airport that's near here. We're 5 miles out. Madisonville traffic, Cessna 172 Bravo Whiskey, left downwind, runway 36, touch and go, Madisonville. This runway is 3,200 feet long. And a little lower than I wanted to be.
Oh dear.
Cool. Okay, clear the trees. A little bit of a crosswind now, okay. Go with it. Here to the left, we're going to turn to the left and we're going to head back towards Hooks. Here's what I want you to do.
This is Warbird for low front.
I'm going to turn these guys down.
Be fast.
Go ahead and take the controls.
Alright.
And I want you to pitch the nose up, like steeper than you would feel comfortable flying, like your feet are on the horizon, okay? And I'm going to bring back the throttle a little bit just to help it out. But you're watching our airspeed drop off. Keep it up, keep your feet up, keep pulling it back. You're going to feel it shudder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just ease off. And our speed is coming back. We don't want to dive, but our speed's coming back up and we're flying again. That was a power on stall. That's all there is to it. So, that was it. So you don't have to be afraid of stalls unless you don't mean to do one, and then you find yourself, and all you do is you lower the nose, you let the speed pick up, and you up to flying airspeed, and you're fine. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take the control of the aircraft. We're going to level off at 3,500, hopefully. I'm going to do what's called some clearing turns. We're going to look to the right. I'm going to go about 90 degrees or so. And I'm just looking for other planes. Even though we got the scope that shows planes on the iPad, there could be somebody that doesn't have the proper equipment, even though they're supposed to by now. But I'm just looking all around so that nobody's going to be in our area when we're doing these turns. And all I'm going to do is, when we do these steep turns, I'm just going to keep the bank over steeper. Right now we're at about 30 degrees of bank. I'm going to rack it up, hopefully to about 60. I'm going to have to pull back to maintain the nose level. Right? I haven't seen anybody else out here, so I'm going to do one to the right.
Really, traffic could drift in.
Ow.
And you can feel that pull. And we're just going to do a 360 like this.
Yeah, I felt that.
All right. You should feel it. If you're a normal human being, you'll feel it in your stomach or in your neck. That was a steep turn. And you see, we started and ended it with about the same altitude that we had going in. Okay? I'm going to turn the throttle back. I'm going to start feeding in flaps when we get slower. So we're below flap extension speed.
My cleft crosswind.
And I'm going to set up as if we're approaching a land. So you go ahead and take the yoke, and I'm going to work the throttle and everything. We're going to start a descent.
To the southeast inbound, right claw.
Just keep us pointed straight ahead, and you're going to pretend like we're landing at the lake, and it's still too far away, so you're going to pull back, trying to stretch out that glide to make it without having to give it any gas. And I feel uncomfortable as a pilot doing this, and you're supposed to, because you don't want to just keep pulling back like, man, we just got to get a little bit further. You're going to feel it shudder. Keep pulling. Kind of shudder in here, and so we're going to give gas. I'm going to lower the nose.
3 miles.
We're not trying to climb. We're trying to pick up flying speed again. We didn't lose any altitude doing it. That's the thing, because when you're down low, you don't want to stall, and you don't want to dump the nose to gain airspeed because you're going to be in the trees by then. And so,
Another one?
you got to know to just barely lower the nose and give it the gas, and you're up to flying speed again. This plane wants to fly really bad. It's hard to make it not fly.
Wind for 36, we'll...
So then I'm going to get the flaps back up, and we'll pick up our speed, and we're flying along. And then the last thing I will show you, we're going to do what's called a slip, just to get us back down to lower altitude. Again, the flaps again. This little arrow here shows how fast we're descending, 600 feet per minute. I'm going to say, hey, we're not getting down fast enough. I got a lot more altitude to lose. So what I'm going to do is, this plane can fly it sideways a little bit. And that's going to be a lot more drag because of the side of the plane being in the slipstream.
Jump is out below intercept.
So I'm going to kick the nose to the right, and I'm going to keep the wings level with the yoke. So we're actually flying this way. Even though the nose is pointed slightly this way, we're tracking this way. Does that make sense? And I can descend a lot more steeply, but see, now we're at 1,200 feet per minute, but my speed isn't picking up. All I'm doing is giving a lot more drag to the slipstream. That's what that's good for, is to get down quicker without picking up speed. Because if I said I need to lose altitude and I just dump the nose, I'm going to accelerate, and then I'm going to have to float to bleed off that airspeed.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do that close to the runway. You can do one the other way. I'm going to kick it out, and you see how the nose goes back? That's the way we're actually heading. I'm going to kick it left. Now I'm slipping to the left. All right, we're at 1,500 feet. I'm going to go ahead and get the flaps up and accelerate out. I'll get us trimmed out again, and then I'll have you fly some more. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to trim it. I'm going to have you do it. So go ahead and take the controls and try to maintain level flight. See how we're climbing? Push. Keep that nose level. And then you're going to take this wheel. So reach down with your left hand and roll that wheel forward until you feel that pressure coming off. No, you're pulling it back. So you really have to push now. Roll it forward to trim off this pushing that you're doing. You feel how it's changing the pressure you have to apply? I went too far that time, so you can reel it backwards. So reel it back. Yep. And you're going to get to where it's trimmed out, to where you don't have to push or pull to maintain level flight. See how that works? And if you need to tweak it just a little bit, just move it a little bit until you get it fine-tuned. We're on our downwind. He already cleared us to land. Okay, I'm turning base.
And then 35 Hotel for sequencing, make one right 360.
Okay, I got the receding traffic in sight.
I got the traffic in sight.
Airplane there.
Number 6, limits in midfield, left downwind, 35 left. Number 49, extend your upwind, I'll call you across one turn.
Stand by upwind, 2149er, call my turn.
And then 35 Hotel, you're going to follow Crescent Cessna traffic, 2 mile left base, report traffic in sight.
Okay, we're looking at 35 Hotel.
Ends are right down the runway, pretty much.
Number 49er, pitch traffic at 1 o'clock in 2 miles, southbound 1,200. Behind that traffic, make right traffic.
That was a pretty good landing. At 1551.
Contact ground.
Below, ground point 8634, thank you.
Tower 172 Bravo Whiskey, exit at Golf, if that'll help.
2 Bravo Whiskey, exit at Golf, yes. Hold short of Fox, same contact ground, thank you.
172 Bravo Whiskey. Ground system 172 Bravo Whiskey is on taxiway Golf, holding short Fox, taxi to Texas flight.
172 Bravo Whiskey, looks around, taxi to parking via Foxtrot Echo Juliet.
Foxtrot Echo Juliet for 172 Bravo Whiskey. All right. How was it?
It was really fun. The only thing I don't like is the sickness, but it was really fun other than that.
Well, you didn't get physically sick, which made me happy.
Yeah, no, I was holding back. I didn't want to throw up in the plane.
Let's clean up for me.
Yeah.
In this truck here.
Hotel.
Where are you going, dude?
Hotel will follow.
He's about to take off.
556.
They got all sorts of cars driving around out here.
And November 00 Tango and 556, no delay to the Foxtrot or to the Foxtrot taxiway. I've got traffic exiting the runway.
Right, and delay to Foxtrot, 556.
There's